got there, David?
Yeah.
What you got there?
Yeah, good. Normal Yorkshire tea.
Of course. Very pertinent for this weekend. Season's greetings. Let's dive in with sort of squad shape, squad news. I'll throw a few at you. Dimmy, has he? Because obviously you mapped it out that bit more precautionary Ipswich, but hopefully we'll train this week and be in contention. Where are we with him?
Yeah, Dimmy is in training since the beginning of the week. No problems. Today we had everyone on the pitch in training apart from Josh. Josh is back in training on Monday. His program works quite well as well, so we had a proper squad out today. Johnny Rowe was ill at the beginning of the week, but he was in training today again. So good day. A lot of players outside on the grass. Obviously one or other has to catch up a little bit of fitness, but good to have them all back on the grass.
So just to clarify, I mean, that's everybody on the pitch is Gibbo, Ujo, Lungi, and obviously Grant as well?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone, apart from Josh. So the whole squad was today in training, and Josh will be on Monday. In
terms of Grant, Gibbo, Ujo and Lungi, obviously back training is a good step, but the next stage, when they might be in and around and in your thoughts, is it probably a bit too soon this side of Christmas?
Yeah, Lungi for sure. He needs now a few weeks of proper training, some games with the under 21 for sure as well. I think his last game he had in July. So with him, we have a lot of work to do in training. Now, unfortunately, the next 9 days we don't have a lot of training. Grant is on a good way. He will be not in the squad on Saturday. Maybe against West Brom or at the latest against Millwall. He is in my thoughts. For sure we target the FA Cup game as his first start, and I would love to give him further minutes before the start if everything goes to plan. Ujo back in training yesterday. If he has no issues tomorrow, he for sure will be in the squad. He was out for 3 weeks, so this is nothing major. And Gibbo got father at the beginning of the last week again of a daughter. Luckily everyone is healthy, even if it was quite early when she came. He is back in training as well, so we have to look how he is tomorrow. The week so far was good from him. Could be an alternative, and as I said, Josh is back on Monday in training, in team training.
With Josh, again, very reasonably long period out. I think it was this reverse fixture, wasn't it, when he did the injury? Are you going to treat him maybe like you've done with Grant, and you just need to be careful how you sort of integrate him from here? What's the thought process with him? Yeah,
he will need a little bit of time for sure, but I think there's obviously a big difference between 8 months and 3 months or 3.5 months. And to be fair to Josh, he's a super fit, natural guy anyway. I think there would have been a chance to have him in training today or maybe tomorrow at the end of this week, but obviously we now don't have to accelerate anything. He ticked every box, everything what he can do and will have done with the performance department. He will have done. It's more about the vision and the spaces, the bigger spaces with a lot of people around you. Fitness wise, he will be in a very good shape for sure.
Just because it was really interesting, last Sunday you said Grant would play 45, but when the team news dropped, 4 or 5 of your senior players, I think, who were on the bench the day before Ipswich, 2 or 3 who got on, Shemi and Gibbo and Tony Springett, they played as well. Why did you decide to go that strong, and what does it say? The culture and the attitude of those senior players to go up to Manchester and play in that game on the Sunday. Yeah,
at the end of the day, we make the decision because in the week before and now in the next days as well, we mostly will only train on smaller sided games, and the only chance to give them maybe a proper big sided game would be on this day, and luckily it was on Sunday. And obviously if there are so many of us, then they can really try to play to our pattern, and this was another advantage which we have seen, and it gave us the possibility and the freedom to give them 90 minutes in the bigger side games in their legs, and obviously you always feel more secure as a manager, if you know, okay, they played the last game only a week ago, when you have to pick them again. And this is why we decided, we gave them as well, like everyone, 2 days off before this very busy period, which is now in front of us with so many games, to clear their head as well and to recover proper from this game, what they've done. And now we're looking forward to this very busy period.
You touched on it there, and you just referenced it again. It is a busy period, 4 games in 9 days. But you're obviously very experienced this time of year in England, and they come thick and fast. But how will it impact, you think, this sort of selections and managing workloads? Will you have to almost map it out in that as a 4-game cycle, or just focus on Huddersfield?
No, the focus is first and foremost only on Huddersfield. And to be totally honest, I think the first 2 is nothing extraordinary. To play these 2 games in 4 days, you don't have to make your head around too much. But obviously then they follow 2 further games, and we are only focused on Huddersfield, and this is the most important thing, to make sure we go into this very intense period on a high with a success, with a win, especially at home against the opponent, which is difficult to break down. We've seen this when you've seen their recent result. They were always tight. They only lost 1 in the last games. But obviously our aim is to win this game with our supporters on our back, with the support of our supporters, because to go in this period with a win is crucial, accelerates everything and helps, and we all together have to be on it. We on the crest for sure will be, and everyone understands as well.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, does it feel, because you're coming into this now off the back of not just Ipswich but 1 defeat in 7, that you've really got this momentum moving, but a good performance and a result on Saturday going into this festive period, it almost accelerates that feeling that you're on the right path? Yes,
plus players back, even if they maybe can only help in the first game for 20 minutes or 15 minutes. We have a lot of things now in place, and now make sure you deliver, and this is what we ask ourselves. So we have to be there from the first second with all the energy which we have on the front foot. Very intense, really to be brave with everything what we are doing, because we know how important this first game of this period is. Luckily we play it at home, and luckily with a big squad available for everything what follows after, but our only focus should be Huddersfield.
I think that was a very impressive result and performance at Huddersfield early in the season, but of course they have made a change in terms of manager, Neil moving on and Darren Moore coming in. Is there too much changed in terms of how he wants them to set up and how they're going about the task from when you played them earlier in the season?
Yeah, his idea is different to the idea which Neil Warnock had. We know what their idea is, to be totally honest. We have a lot of people with good connections, which they had in Huddersfield, which they had with Moore as well. So we know everything what we will face. Hopefully we are able to exploit some areas where they are vulnerable, and the most important thing is that we have a proper aggressive mindset in our head, that we play with full intensity.
I wanted to ask you about a bit of a milestone for Kenny McLean, 200 appearances for the club. I think Ipswich. Just quantify that achievement, because it is increasingly rare now in the modern game to have one player who plays that amount of games. And I think I know the answer, but how key has it been for you since you arrived there in the building? We know, in recent games that you've switched his position and he's looked very comfortable in there, but just over the 12 months and what that achievement signifies about him and his professionalism and his impact.
Yeah, how important he is for me and how high I rate him, I think you can read it when you see his appearances and starts which he had since I arrived. He is a top professional, sets the standards, pushes everyone, quite emotional in the one other situation. It helps him to calm a little bit down as well during games, but he is working on this, and he likes to win. He likes to win football matches, and it's great to have a character like him in the dressing room, and hopefully he continues doing what he has done so far in different positions. He is a real team player as well.
And on that point about the different positions, now it feels like Grant and Ben Gibson aren't that far away. Because you said after the Bristol game, look, he can play this role, he can play it moving forward. Is that still your mindset, or is it when you start to get some of your centre backs back, you might maybe look to put it back in the centre mid? Where's your head with that? No.
Yeah, the truth is, I think at the latest now everybody should have seen that we have a top alternative for the centre-back position. So he played against the physical side, he played against the side which scored the most goal in the division so far, he played against the side which sit deep as a centre-back, and he always delivered a top, sometimes a super top performance, gave assists from these positions as well. So there is proper competition on the centre-back position. He is a further player who has everything to play there, and in the midfield as well. So you are always a lucky manager if you have a player who is so good on different positions, always in both positions, maybe a player who should be the first on the team sheet. So this means we can make our head around against which opponent we need him maybe more in the centre-back position, maybe more in midfield. We can see who is available for certain games, and then we can decide which will be best for the team, where Kenny should play.
A couple more if I can. I'm going to ask you about January, but not ins, because I know you don't really want to get into that too much at this stage. But it's clear today, you've listed the extra players who are going to come back now over the next week or two, allied to what you already had. Of course, there'll be injuries you'll pick up between here and there, but is maybe part of what you need to do in January is look at the squad size and maybe thin it out a little bit, because it would feel that you would have quite a lot of options now when all the players are available. Yeah,
to be fair, Paddy, I know where you come from, and what I can say, we already received the one or other offer for a loan for the one or other of our player, but 4 games in 9 days. In 9 days, maybe we sit together and we have a totally different scenario. And this is why the truth is, I'm only focused on now this 4 games. Transfer window, in and outs is irrelevant for me. It's all about Huddersfield. Not 1%, not 0.1% of my energy, of my thoughts. To be fair, of no one's thoughts is on the transfer window.
Okay, understood. But I will follow up with one question about, because he's a lad who's been linked this week again, and it's inevitable now with what he's doing, Johnny Rowe. There'll be reports, Premier League clubs looking at him. Why wouldn't they be? Because of the numbers he's producing. I'm just really interested in terms of what you said after the Ipswich game. Look, he's a special player, you said, but he's a very young player. He's still got so much to learn. We will help him to learn. Does that apply off the pitch as well as on it? Because this is probably going to be the first window where he's had that, and he's had to deal with that noise in the background. I mean, how do you feel he'll deal with that in terms of his character, or is it something you need to just sit him down and say, look, forget about that, focus on what you're doing, which is performing on the pitch, the rest will take care of itself?
Yeah, listen, obviously he has done great so far, but it's only half of the season. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he does exactly the same the second part of the season. The truth is, Ben is in conversations with his parties. The truth is as well, he is happy with his contract, we are happy with his performance, and we agreed, because he has 2.5 years left and we are in total control, we agreed to sit together at the end of the season. Let's try to perform the second part of the season like the first part of the season. Let's be only focused on this. Then everyone will be very, very happy at the end of the season, and then it makes sense to speak about anything else, what means contracts. I think anything else is not the right thing to do, because Johnny should do what he has done so far, be focused on the pitch and on his performances, and we try everything to support him as best as we can. And this is what I said after the Ipswich game, that he consistently can do what he has done so far. And yes, he scored a lot of goals. Yes, he is very young, but at the end of the day, and this is very, very good, he's very clever in his head. He knows exactly that some of the recent performances were not on his level. He is better than what he has shown, and this is what we have to make sure, that he performs consistently on his highest level, because he is a player who who can be very, very important without ball possession as well, because he is football intelligent, and obviously in ball possession with his attacking threats, he is always dangerous for goals. And we have to make sure that Johnny stays healthy and that he can perform on this very high level consistently, and then goals for him will come because he's a natural goal scorer and quite calm in front of the goal.
So I mean, that's great news from Norwich fans' perspective. Just to clarify that, whatever the noise is in terms of outside the camp, all the parties involved who matter here are very happy just to part that, deal with it at the end of the season.
Yeah, for me always, you know how I am. For me, the most important thing is that everyone is in conversation with everybody, and then it's important that you have a clear picture how you like to progress. And we said clear, we progress at the end of the season. Till then, be focused on your performance. Do what you've done in the first half of the season, the second half of the season. As I said, we have full control. He has 2.5 years left, and this is exactly, I think, the right thing to do, and this is what Ben agreed with Johnny's party.
Understood. And final one, again, really interested on your take on this, because we've seen it again this week. You know, Plymouth and Stoke changes in terms of the management. I think we're getting on for like half the division now since September have changed. We know because you know you had to go through that. You said it yourself. Every week it felt there was a period where you having to ask or be asked questions about your future. Does that underline A, you need that support above you in the football club, and B, maybe as well the volatility in terms of what you chaps do for a living? It's as bad as ever in the Championship, because to have 11 changes in 24 clubs since September, if you're a head coach going in, it's very difficult to feel you're going to get the time to really put your thoughts and processes in when you know it's such short-term thinking across the division. How do you deal with that as a coach?
Yeah, to be fair, I not really like to moan about it, because everyone who works in this business is aware about this. I think, I don't know, how is the average manager survives 13 months, 14 months, I don't know, maybe even less. So it's not a surprise, even if I haven't thought about it, the numbers which you told me. And the strange thing is everybody knows consistently guarantees you a higher percentage of success in the medium and long term. Everybody knows this, but I'm not the decision maker in the board or the owner. This is up to them. So everybody knows what on a higher percentage delivers you medium long term success, and this is consistently. But owners or boards react like they react. I'm very, very lucky to work here at Norwich City Football Club and to have a board who is like it is, and I'm very happy with this.
So good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers.